Good day. My name is Rachel Silversmith, and I am doing my final presentation on Aloha Hash House Harriers for my HPU CI 3211 class. So, Aloha Hash House Harrier is an organization that has a motto of a drinking club with a running problem. Some information in background: they started back in 1938 in Kuala Lumpur. Basically, they met on Mondays to run around and work off the extra pounds that they consumed during their debauchery during the weekend. Today, it's actually an organization that promotes a very healthy running program with good fun, good people. They explore their surroundings with a small physical challenge of running or walking a trail. It's a great social gathering community that ties in a little athleticism to break away from the 9 to 5, building a strong sense of community and belonging. So, a quick overview. We're going to go through some of the initial interview information, review some of the current systems and forms, review their overall activity diagram, some of the use cases, features and scenarios, my lo-fi mock-ups, the client's feedback, and a summary discussion. So after a few meetings with their mismanagement, during the interview, we were able to identify what needs to happen with it. They definitely need something that's user-friendly, accurate, inexpensive to maintain, and definitely secure to protect hashers' personal ID. Currently, the identification is done through paper registration, logs, that's later input into an Excel summary. Here is their local website. It's a great place to find out information of upcoming events. However, there's no login for individuals to sign up as volunteers to Hare Trail. They have to use email or call. Also, there's no runner-to-runner connection other than outside social media or like Facebook and email. So if we click on their website, we can see that they kind of have the upcoming events, their logo, and special Pauhana gatherings that they have throughout the week. But it doesn't really have any interaction with the user. It just really puts out information. Some of the current registration forms that they have are paper. You see that they have their name, hash name. For this specific event, it gave the location where, but one of the things that it does say is mail into mismanagement. And if you're on island, mail doesn't take very long, about a day. But for those that are coming, say from the mainland or something, they wouldn't have access to these documents, as it's really kept in within Facebook, which is a closed community, or the email. If you're not on the list spot, then you don't get the information. Some of their mismanagement meeting notes that we identified, because it's a year appointment, they have sometimes issues with having people show up to deliver refreshments and goods to these Saturday events, and they go through some of the meeting notes here. Some of the current systems that they use is a 808 Hairline, a Facebook page that's invite only, email listings, paper sign up like we saw with the registration for special events, and currently they are using logbooks to track runners for Saturday events, to log how many times they've come, how much money they donated, which is later manually input into a database. And then the website here, which we viewed earlier. And again, some of the issues is because it's only a year position, a lot of the information tends to get lost, and new officers might not be proficient with their old modeling system than the new ones that they would like to implement. And they recognize the need for accurate record keeping, event planning to consolidate a little bit more. Currently, they have it spread out in several different branches, and in order to get information for one event, there are about 2 or 3 different people that they need to coordinate with. We're just going to review their activity diagram real quick so we can see an overview of what their organization is about. We have the volunteer here on the right. They request a date, they propose the time and place, and that goes to the hair raiser who tracks dates that need volunteers. Once it's confirmed, they update reports, and that goes to the general manager. And if it's not, then the cycle starts again, that they show up at different events and have people sign up on a paper book, notebook, to volunteer for certain dates as needed. The Hash Cash keeps records of attendance of runners that attend, the donation for that weekend, and usually tries to keep tabs on awardees and updates those reports so that way they could be recognized at certain milestones. At 6 runs you get named, at 15 runs you get a little sash, 25 runs, 50 runs, 6 to 9, and then after that's every 100 runs. The haberdasher restocks the inventory as jackets or shirts, socks, different necklaces for paraphernalia, whistles, things like that. Receives a request, and then he updates the reports if they've been delivered, yes or no, and then that goes to the general manager. The religious advisor receives most of his reports after the general manager has consolidated everything. Then at the end of trail, he acknowledges the runners for their milestones, arrivals, departures, visitors, and things like that after all reports have been returned. So one of the solutions that we were looking at is to develop a hash system where runners can update their contact information and times available to volunteer, as well as track runs. It would tabulate into a summary page that automatically gave the achievements, special events as birthdays, newcomers, and things like that. So here are my use cases. After discussing with them, we found that 2 were more relevant than the first, than the one. Use case number 1, accountability on trail. The individual runners would do individual check-ins with the group, and then the group check-in would then tell the hare how many people are on trail, and also the individual runner would make their donation to the run, and then they would track the donations and personnel who are running on trail to ensure that everybody came off of trail. But because people sometimes don't do the whole trail or come really late and start later, it's really hard to keep an accurate count of personnel, and usually what they do is have a co-hare who sweeps the trail to find any stragglers and bring them to the finish line. The second use case is tracking hare dates. So the hares who lay the trail, they sign up for the dates, and then the hare raiser coordinates and matches other runners with that specific date if they need a co-hare or if they want to be a lead hare, and she organizes that, and then the administrator tracks the number of trails that are laid by each hare and co-hare. Another use case is summary of accounts. So this is in relation to the email listing, and what they want to do is the administrator collects all the data from the trails, all the summary sheets together, and then they give it to the general manager who then kind of tabulates a lot of things and summarizes the events, which then sends out an email with notifications of what happened in the past, as well as what will happen in the future trails, who, where, what, when, how, why. So features and scenarios. This one is to email the hash group, basically going into their contacts and only sending emails to hashers for upcoming events and information. This is a runner profile that allows the administrator to have updated contact information of the runners, and essentially will have their hash name, their mortal given name, email address, and phone number. This feature of the trail run is for those that they can put the information given by the volunteers for the weekly run, and they can insert the time, date, and location, and whether it's an A to A or an A to B trail, and any additional accessories that are needed. So here's my lo-fi mock-up. It shows the home page that allows users who are already part of it to log in, and if you're not, then you can join using email and password. And then there would also be a user profile that has a picture, optional of course, user upcoming events, your events if you decided you wanted to hair or co-hair anything in the future, a volunteer tab that allows you to become a hair or co-hair, and has a link to your profile so people can contact you. It also has a tab so you can update your stuff. Sometimes hash names change, and so you want to keep current information up, and it allows you to add a photo and update those relevant information per user. Also, with the volunteering, you can create event. If you decide to be a lead hair, it would take you to the create event, and you would have the title, the description, the location, the start, the end of the trail, and any accessories, doggable, stroller, flashlight, bug spray if you're in the sticks. And what all this would do is tabulate and generate into a type of newsletter or just an information blog that would then be sent out to all the hashers. After talking with them, showing them my initial lo-fi mock-ups, some of the things that they wanted was a history tab there for the user profile, so that way they can track their own runs and make sure that it's accurate. So the same thing that they see would be the same thing that the administration or mismanagement would have. For the events, they just wanted a tab that listed all their events, and that way you could click on the events to the left, and if you wanted to delete your association with that event, it would then update the calendar and make those dates available to other volunteers, or update the event and then back to create event to update any pertinent information. Also, the upcoming events, there's a couple of tabs on the home page and the user profile that just shows what events are upcoming, and it would give all the pertinent information and who is laying the trail, and if you wanted to RSVP, and who to contact should you have any questions. So future developments, discussing with Aloha Hash House Harriers, they would like to see links to other kennels, a special events page for birthdays, for example, the Mother's Day Moo Run. They have a thing called Hashmas during Christmas time. So there are several very big planned events throughout the year that are always the same, and they wanted a special link to those types of events. And then the automatic email list bot that would gather up all the information and send it out to everybody that's listed there, so they can receive push updates via email. And then a travel group info page, a button or link to a page on there that groups of people could get together and organize inter-island hashes, or even inter-hash for different kennels internationally. Also, they were discussing a sponsor, a hash link that would give available dates to kind of match people who have couch surfing space available for hashers in Hasher Zone, so they could sponsor visiting hashers and or hopefully connect with other kennels should they be the traveling hasher. But just an idea and something that they are throwing out there. Here are my references. So this is the short version of my final presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.